government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.
Well, I'm sick and tired of smart guys.
Let me start off with 2 words. Made in America.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
A lot of things are happening. Planets are aligned.
That's for sure.
Fuck yeah. That is for sure. Elon Musk just bought Twitter. Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, I hope the future is more fun and interesting. And
Bullshit. You know exactly what you're. I don't think you're a bad guy. You're trying to survive for you and your family and do good. Okay, but no, my family, your family, none of us are going to make it. There's a post-human era coming.
Yeah.
They've made frickin' deals with interdimensional aliens.
it's true.
I refuse to go along with this, and I'd see through all of your lies, Barack Obama, you wicked, wicked devil! Welcome back to another night of Shtick with Koolfrogg.
Sheesh. I love Elon Musk right there. He's just so casual. It's true.
It's true.
It actually kind of scares me that he just says it. So,
whoever actually made that clip and actually edited that together did a perfect job. That was not an actual interview. Somebody actually made that.
that's
I know, right?
Very
It's
well
like,
done.
oh my god, it's like something that totally should have been. It's just so good.
Never would be. Never.
Talking trash and truth. The first one to say hi. How you doing, dude?
What up?
Glad you're here. Oh my lord. Nobody over on the Rumble side yet. Oh, you know what the problem is? You know what the problem is? I didn't share this anywhere. I didn't share this anywhere whatsoever. It's
Man, that's my problem. I just never share my stuff out.
Ooh. T3 says she popped my cherry.
Ooh. Hey, I'll be right back, man.
All right, sounds good. So, what we're going to do, though, is we're going to actually watch Zelensky here in the United States. If anybody didn't catch that or did catch that, we're going to have some fun watching it, and we're going to actually leave some choice commentary to go along with it. It is quite something very interesting on what they actually did, and allowing somebody like in the likeness of Zelensky to go march in front of our joint Congress and actually say what he felt and how he felt. It was very disturbing in itself and kind of hard to actually take. I mean, it's seriously just so upsetting, very disturbing. Let's see. I didn't share this to anywhere, and that's the issue. That's why there's nobody here. They don't realize that there's a show going. Let's go. Share this here. T3 wanted to puke on Harrison Pelosi holding that damn flag. Yeah, we're gonna actually watch that. So we're gonna have to watch our balls and our gag reflexes, and hope that we all don't throw up together, because that's pretty much what it's gonna come down to. I'm just gonna share this out a couple other places just to see if I can't draw up an audience. Get an audience in here. Look like we do have a couple people join us. You can see Jimmy YouTube's here. If you haven't already, please subscribe to Jimmy YouTube. He's a very talented artist, and he has produced quite a few different pieces. Very fun to watch. I think Winning Reality is actually going to come in here and join us for a short bit as well. Hopefully America Shirts is actually feeling okay, and he actually makes himself.
Howdy.
Yo.
Man, you know how good of
So-
a name Talking Trash and Truths is? Like, I wish I thought of that.
I know, right? It's a perfect name. It's just one of them. Like, man, she got that? How did she get that name? All right. Well, let's share this. There's a couple of videos that we're actually going to watch. So there's this one. This one's 36 minutes long, and then the other one's 28 minutes long. It still shouldn't take us anything longer than the few hours normal show to actually make it through there. Mike Gohagan, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Share. Seriously, share this out. You can see the audience is very minimal right now. I don't have a lot of people in here at the moment. I totally forgot to share it out. Like not even paying attention and just us and I'm like, oh, let's go. And it's like, oh wait, I should have shared it myself. Got a new batch of weed to play on my brother. Awesome. So let's see. I got a couple. Make sure that I'm situated here. So, like they said, this one's 36 minutes long. Our resident of the United States and president of Ukraine decide to actually hold a joint press conference. It's quite something.
The moocher in chief over there.
I'm honored to welcome you back to the White House. We spent an awful
Okay,
lot
honored.
of time in the telephone.
Honored that you couldn't even take yourself to the point of wearing a freaking suit and tie to come and see me. Thanks for joining me in your fatigues.
Yeah, very honorable person.
It doesn't even look like they're fatigues. They're just a green sweater and some slacks. It's such a bullshit that we're actually going along with this piece of crap and allowing them to continue to do what they're doing. Now, the other thing that I noticed is here in the United States, the American flag flies just a little bit taller than any other flag. You notice they're both at the same fucking height.
Wow.
Disgusting what they're allowing to actually happen.
It's such a show. They're putting on a big old show for us.
See, if Matthew just agreed with you. That's his look, and it's all show, like everything else now. Yep, exactly.
Yep, 100%.
He's a short Ricada.
I've seen the memes.
Phone as well as on video, but it's good to see you in person. And we've been in close and frequent communication throughout this conflict from the very beginning, but particularly it's particularly meaningful to talk with one another in person, look each other in the eye, because leadership through this terrible crisis has inspired the Ukrainian people as you have done, Mr. President, and the American people and the entire world. This visit to Washington, your first trip outside Ukraine since February, comes as President Putin has escalated his attacks, his brutal attacks, targeting critical infrastructure to make life as hard as possible for not only innocent Ukrainians, but children and young children and everything from
Children and young children, like there's a difference. Like there's a difference between children and young children. He's our resident of the United States is disgusting how he actually thinks of children as being different, putting them in different categories depending on how old they really are. It makes you really think and wonder what he's actually all about. You smell one, you sniff the other. Yeah, right.
You guys are all about carrot and stick.
Dark Lotus, good to see you. Cash, how you doing, my man? A long time no see. Zelensky's a better grifter than Ricada. I bet, you know, the billions and billions of dollars that he's actually been able to swindle out of the United States, they're gonna give more because, hey, you come and seen us. You joined us here at the White House. Let's do it.
Orphanages to schools. It's just outrageous what he's doing. And we've, as we've heard as we head into the new year, it's important for the American people and for the world to hear directly from you, Mr. President, about Ukraine's fight and the need to continue to stand together through 2023.
Stand together through 2023. Oh, okay. So you're going to stand together for at least another 10 days? Sounds good. Miss Dinga Dinga has arrived. Welcome. Glad you're here. We're just watching this shit show that was produced today. Who's the man waving his hands on the right?
This visit also falls on the 300-day mark of Russia's brutal invasion of Ukraine. 300 days since Putin launched an unprovoked, unjustified, all-out assault on the free people of Ukraine. 300 days of Ukrainian people showing Russia and the world their steel backbone, their love of country, and their unbreakable determination, and I emphasize unbreakable determination, to choose their own path. To the Ukrainian people, I say to them all, you have demonstrated, you have shown your strong stand against aggression in the face of the imperial appetites of autocrats who wrongfully believe they might be able to make might right, and they're not able to do
it. Take the shit out your mouth, old man. You could barely even say that sentence. I couldn't even repeat what he just said because might right it doesn't make sense. You ever think the sign language person is just screwing with us? You know, if you actually go back to the very beginning of this administration, the first couple of press conferences, there was somebody else that was in that spot, not her. Apparently, those somebody else's that were there actually were signing things that they weren't actually saying, and had been removed and replaced. It took like 3 or 4 of them before they actually found the right one that actually would go along with what they were actually saying. Because, you know, facial expression for sign language is saying language just really means a lot. It's not just the hand signals that they're actually performing. It's the emotion that they show on their face that actually creates a lot of the stuff that these sign languages actually say. So it's very interesting. I feel bad. Michael Hagan says, I feel bad for the sign language person trying to translate a potato head Biden talking point. Oh my fucking Lord. Everybody welcome America Pants.
Is this working? Thanks. I'm a little nervous. It's my first time on a stream, but thank you for having me. Koolfrogg. I don't know really what to do here, but okay.
You're okay.
Okay,
You're okay.
Like,
just hang with us.
right. Be right here.
Do we salute? Only if you want.
Thus far, they've stood alone, you know, and you haven't stood alone. You have had significant help. We've never stand alone. You will never stand alone. When Ukraine's freedom was threatened, the American people, like generations of Americans before us, did not hesitate. The support from all across this country, Americans of every walk of life, Democrats and Republicans alike, had the resources and to rebound and resounding united way to provide unequivocal and unbending support for Ukraine. Because we understand in our bones that Ukraine's fight is part of something much bigger. The American people know that if we stand by in the face of such blatant attacks on liberty and democracy and the core principles of sovereignty and territorial integrity, the world would surely face worse consequences. As I said, when Putin rolled his tanks into Ukraine in February, American people are prepared to have us stand up to bullies, stand up for freedom. That's who we are as Americans. And that's exactly what we've done. Even before the invasion began and Putin threatened Ukraine by building up his forces, we helped make sure Ukraine would be prepared to defend itself.
What's that?
America Pants?
Yes, it's America Pants.
Hi, nice to meet you, Jimmy. America Pants, I'm new.
Who in the hell?
I met Koolfrogg today. He came over and asked me if I'd like to stream it by myself.
Oh.
Something's going on with your logo there, America Pants.
Yeah.
You keep on popping in and out. Something's going on.
Well, they're full of liberty and freedom.
You America shirt? Is that why they don't feel the need to stay?
Oh, there's America shirts here? I'm a big fan.
Are you America Shirts' brother?
I'm a big fan of it. No, I'm just another member of the garment community. And he's part of my inspiration, you know. So I've been watching, and I just you know, I wanted to get involved, and I like pants, so I figured nobody was doing pants, and be good.
Where is America Shirts? I don't know where America Shirts is. It's a good question, Miss Dingo Dingo. I'm glad you're here.
Been stuck in the laundry these days.
Days ago,
little garment humor. So.
But, yeah, I tell you what, P3's right. There's nothing free about having pants on.
Not at all. I mean, who would buy a pair of pants? The hell?
Well, it have a great flag on them, and it's got an eagle. See?
If you can't.
And we have women's pants.
Are they assless? If they're not assless, I don't want them.
Well, we can custom make them for you, of course. That's just like, you know, call the people who make them. You have fastest pants. Yeah. Yeah, but thank you. It was again. Thanks so much for letting me come on tonight. So I'm just getting started. I think, you know.
Chris Rowland says kilts are better than pants. How do you feel about that, America Pants?
Well, kilts aren't very American, are they? They're kind of from another country, right? Well, gee, we all wear skirts, you know. So,
why do you keep on popping?
Very American.
No.
How do you keep doing that?
Pants magic.
Pants magic.
Pants are magic.
Sorcery. I need to learn some pants magic.
T3 says I want to bleach my imagination. Beaver's over in Rumble says, oof, arrived late and I'm greeted by two of the worst people on the planet.
Sorry.
Yeah, that sign language lady is pretty bad.
That's horrible. That's horrible. Yep, two of the worst people on the planet. Zelensky and Resident Biden. To hell and back, number 945, checking in to say hi and hit the thumbs up. Thank you so much for being here. That's awesome. I'm glad you're here. What's with the green shirt? Is that the only shirt that he has? Yeah, that's Ukrainian uniform, or equivalent to a suit and tie. You see the president of the United States. That is something that is general staple. If you and I actually walked in there to go and we're invited to the White House and we walked in there looking like that, they'd be like, you need a suit and tie to even be addressed. Please remove yourself. It is very disturbing. What the hell? America Pants, you have connection issues.
You're having issues.
You're having issues. You keep on popping in and out.
Okay.
I don't know what's
Well,
going
I hear everything fine. I see everything fine. Is it?
I just keep on hearing it a pop where you actually leave and come back.
Okay, I'll just leave it on.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. If you're having a connection issue with a microphone or a camera of sorts, or
It
whatever.
is raining pretty heavy here.
Okay. I was gonna say just.
Yeah, I live in a tent, so.
You live in a
yeah.
tent.
Yeah.
God damn it! Are you in the Amazon rainforest?
No.
No, he's in America, so.
Well, he could have been like.
I live in the Amazon.
You don't live in the Amazon Prime.
Before
okay.
they crossed into Ukraine. We provided a steady stream of defensive weapons, including air defense systems and artillery, ammunition, and so much more.
Because all the stuff that we've already given you isn't enough. Let's give you some more. 17 watching, only 12 likes. My math isn't mathing. Hit that like button. Yeah, smash it, crush it. That one person that's over on the Rumble side, you go ahead and hit that thing. Just kind of crush it, smash it for me. I really don't understand what's. I would almost assume that there's a reason that there's nobody over there, since they haven't actually seen that there's a show.
We've not done it alone. From the very beginning, the United States rallied allies and partners from around the world to stand strong with Ukraine and impose unprecedented, and I emphasize unprecedented.
Miss Diggy says maybe he'll play the piano after dinner. Yeah, with his cock, like he's done before, right?
From the very beginning, the United States rallied allies and partners from around the world to stand strong with Ukraine and impose unprecedented, and I emphasize unprecedented sanctions and export controls on Russia, making it harder for the Kremlin to wage this brutal war. More than 50 nations have committed nearly 2,000 tanks and other armored vehicles.
There's so much stuff that we're giving out. It's just amazing because people are giving things out. I feel generous. T3 have a wrench. I noticed that there isn't very many around with wrenches sitting in chat. I need somebody to actually click on those deleted messages for me.
Had to be done. Surprised it hadn't been done yet.
Right? It's kind of been a long time coming.
Yeah.
So
you deserve it.
800 artillery systems, more than 2 million rounds of artillery ammunition, and more than 50 advanced multiple rocket.
There's so much stuff. Dark Lotus says we haven't depleted our cache of defense assets enough to lose in an offense against China. Therefore, President Zelensky, we have much more to give you.
I actually did a report on this myself.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. What'd you say?
I said I actually did a report on this myself. Not long ago, that video I did.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, you did. I remember watching that. It was pretty good.
Well, I don't know. Why don't we just give them everything? You know, let's just give it all.
Yeah.
Let's give it all. They can have it all.
Here is the United States on a silver platter. It is now yours. That connection issue is a pain in the ass.
Anti-ship and air defense systems, all to strengthen Ukraine. Together, we provided billions of dollars in direct budgetary support to make sure the Ukrainian government can keep providing basic fundamental services to the Iranian people, like healthcare, education, and emergency personnel. This includes another $2 billion that in direct budget support from the American people that the World Bank distributed earlier this week. We provided humanitarian assistance to help the millions of Ukrainians.
We cannot afford this.
Sure we can. You know those pennies that you have in your pocket?
No.
They want to take those. They don't think that you should have a penny in your pocket whatsoever. It should go to the Ukrainian people. The Iranian people? Yeah, right. Matthew says we are now over $100 $100 billion to Ukraine and counting. Oh, and Mississippi, don't drink the water. Yeah, do not. Whatever you do, Mississippi, do not drink the water.
Yikes.
Yeah, you have 2 pennies in your pocket talking to. That's not fair. That's not fair. You shouldn't have 2 to rub together. I don't have 2 to rub together. Nobody else deserves to have 2 to rub together.
Yeah, give me one of your shekels.
That being said, if you do want to support me, you go to buymeacoffee.com/Koolfrogg. That's the best way to support me right now. America Pants, your connection shit.
I'm muted.
Oh.
I don't understand.
No, you keep on popping in and out. It's weird. It's weird
Amazing-
because
the
normally when
amazing
you
pants.
pop out, it requires me to put you back into place or whatever. But it's just just doing a pop. It's going like taking you out, putting you back in.
I'm not seeing it on my end.
Oh, that's good.
Seriously.
Zelensky's attire is part of the psyop. Yeah, I bet it is.
Been forced to flee their homes because of Putin's inhumane, brutal war.
War. Nobody else has anything to do with it. Not the UN, not the United States, not Ukraine in itself. It's just Putin and Russia. That's it.
Russia.
Miss Dingadink says, put a shirt on. Oh, okay. Frog, you getting hit by a blizzard? Not yet. Not yet. That big, huge, whatever they're calling it, cyclone of coldness that's wiping through here is going to be interesting because it's telling us here that we could be looking at negative 50s. Ridiculous. Right? That's coming within the next couple of days. It's going to be a horrible cold snap. And there's going to be an awful lot of people across the United States that are going to be freezing their butts off. It sounds like we should shut off all coal fire plants and go straight to wind power. Because, they won't freeze in 50-degree below weather.
I feel like the people in charge of our crisis management just shouldn't be there. It's like, because when the crisis goes off, they're like, I don't know what to do. Every time. It's like, well, what the hell are you in this position for?
You're in the path, though. Most of the United States is in this path of this typhoon thing, and that's cyclone of coldness that's actually coming across the United States. I'm gonna kick the other one. I'm just gonna do that, and it's winning reality.
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
Yo,
how's it going? What a miss.
Not bad. How about you? Just some dude coming in here. Some guy, douchebag, really.
Some America Pants trying to
poser.
be something cool.
So you invited somebody new to the stream, and then you guys were mean to him. Jesus Christ!
Yeah, I just kicked him because he's just
afterwards, like behind his back.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm just like, no, get out of here. Missed it. Yeah, you missed him. It's okay.
He had a shitty connection anyway.
He had a horrible connection. I don't know what was wrong with him. We'll see. We'll try again some other time with him. See if you get a better connection.
Yeah.
Maybe
nice
next time we'll make sure you're both in the same room together so that we can.
Yeah, I like to meet the guy. What does he do? What's he about?
Sells pants apparently. I don't know.
Pants? What kind of pants?
American pants.
American pants? That's cool. I guess.
Spangled,
Oh yeah, like with the flag on it.
Yeah.
Something. I've seen those.
Didn't that used to be illegal?
Nah, that's usually like bikers or something like right around. Like, I'm trying to think of who I saw wearing his pants, like some freak at a show or something.
I know Robin Williams did it for a stand-up thing. He wore like full like American flag attire, and apparently that was wrong of him. Like some people got mad.
Well, yeah, like what? Communist Hollywood?
Well, potentially, yeah.
Yeah. Man, how about that? Well, where's America's shirts?
Haven't seen him yet.
Okay. It was a friend of his.
America Banana Hammock.
Banana Hammock is next.
To flee their homes because of Putin's inhumane, brutal war. Communities across Europe have opened their hearts and their homes to help Ukrainians in need. The United States has been proud to welcome more than 221,000 Ukrainians seeking refuge since March of 2022.
Gee, where are we housing those 221,000 Ukrainians? Which one city are we going to put them in so that they can actually create something? Like when Obama went ahead and put 70,000 Muslims in the Twin Cities, creating somebody by the likeness of Ilhan Omar. Who are we going to create here in the United States that's going to actually be the face of the Ukrainian people?
Yakov Smirnov? No way, no. No, Borat is the face of the Ukrainian people, right?
I'm from Kazakhstan.
Oh, he's from Kazakhstan, right? I'm trying to think. Yeah, we do need a comic figure to be the voice of Ukraine.
Ish. Ish is in the house. Area. What's up, Ish? How you doing, dear? Long time no see.
Do you realize it is Zelensky? That's how shit Ukraine is.
He hasn't delivered the punchline yet. You know what? He was a comedian before, wasn't he? Yeah. They usually just swore around the country. They used to make comedy specials.
Somalis made diversity work in Minnesota. Yeah, sure they did. Being actual somebody that comes from the state of Minnesota, I disagree. I totally disagree. Gonna come back after Christmas. Sounds good, Ish.
Take care, Ish.
Have a good one.
See if you can't kick this through.
Merry Christmas.
It's Rose. How's it going, Rose?
Go the Rose of Sharon Cassidy.
Okay, let's go kick this up real quick and see how many more sentences we can get out of this blubbering idiot.
The United States has been proud to welcome more than 221,000 Ukrainians seeking refuge since March of 2022, including as part of Uniting for Ukraine, as part of our Uniting for Ukraine program. And today, USAID is committing more than $374 million in urgently needed humanitarian assistance for Ukraine. This will help provide food and cash assistance for more than 1.5 million Ukrainian people, as well as access to health care, safe drinking water, and help stay warm in the winter for more than 2.5 million Ukrainians. The United States and our allies and partners around the world have delivered a broad range of assistance at a
We don't even help our own citizens this much.
To bolstering Ukraine's.
You don't need help. Go work. That's all they care. You go work so that we can take your pennies and help them. We don't care about our own. We never have.
A third world country.
Or at all. Exactly, T3. Or at all. Clown World. Yes, Michael Hagan. Exactly. Clown World. Was late filling out application for mom. Maybe I should take longer until the man finishes. Yeah, right. Dark Lotus says Ukrainians are shacking up with Afghan and illegal migrants walking through the southern border. Of course they are, because it's easier to just walk through the southern border than it is to actually come any other way, shape, or form. Because you come in any other way, you have to actually go through some kind of immigration and naturalization type of stuff or whatever. When you come across the southern border, it's non-existent. America has 1 cent coins, not pennies. Are they even worth the penny? Worth the material that they're actually printed on? I doubt it.
Success thus far. Ukraine has won the Battle of Kyiv, has won the Battle of Kherson, has won the Battle of Kharkiv. Ukraine has defied Russia's expectations at every single turn. And President Zelensky, you have made it clear that he is open to pursuing.
President Zelensky, Vladimir Putin. Jeff Goldblum.
Sign language artists in the background are a huge red flag. I get you, John. I'm glad you're here. But I mean, you notice that there wasn't somebody doing such a thing under the previous administration. Only under this administration did they finally put somebody in that spot to actually do so, because they're like, oh, let's go ahead and virtue signal to yet more people. Because, putting words at the bottom of the screen, let's not do that.
But you're open to pursuing peace. You're open to pursuing a just peace. We also know that Putin has no intention of stopping this.
Just wants peace.
And the United States is committed to ensuring that the brave Ukrainian people can continue to defend their country against Russian aggression.
I don't know the Ukrainian people, bro.
And I want to thank the members of Congress and for their broad bipartisan support to Ukraine. And I look forward to signing the omnibus bill soon, which includes $45 billion in additional funding to Ukraine.
That doesn't make me feel good.
Signing law, the National Defense Authorization.
They're saying it like it's a great thing.
John says sign language artists came with the fires. No, they didn't. Because
came with the establishment.
Because that the quote unquote virus actually came from and started under the previous administration. Right. Came from China. Was part of the previous administration and everything that they had to do with anything. So that's when that started. Sign language didn't start until this administration. Right.
It's because I think deaf people don't know how to read. They're very anti-reading.
Yes, very anti-reading.
Which includes authorities to make it easier for the Department of Defense to procure critical munitions and defense materials for Ukraine and other key materials to strengthen our national security. Today, I'm announcing the next tranche of our security assistance to Ukraine. $1.85 billion package of security assistance that includes both direct transfers of equipment that Ukraine needs,
They're
as
robbing
well as
us. I've been robbed. Help. Police.
In broad daylight. With no weapons. Yeah. Michael Hagan, Freudian slip. Yep. Literally the ominous bill. Yep. That's pretty much what it sounded like he said too. He's like, dude, there's another letter in there. It's not silent.
To supply ammunition Ukraine will need in the
Gene. Hey, Gene, how are you?
months ahead for its artillery, its tanks, and its rocket launchers. Critically, in addition to these new capabilities, like precision aerial munitions,
they're going to sell them. They're selling them. You fucks.
They're going to sell them? Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They're already showing up on foreign markets. Terrorists are buying them.
Huh. Go figure.
Our missile systems are showing up on foreign markets already.
They don't even do the courtesy of using lube anymore. It's just dry or die. Yep. No safe word required. Just
bend
shove it
over
in
and
there.
Fuck me.
Include a Patriot missile battery, on which will train Ukrainian forces to operate as part of the ongoing effort to help bolster Ukraine's air defense. It's going to take some time to complete the necessary training, but the Patriot battery will be another critical asset for Ukraine as it defends itself against Russian aggression. Altogether, today's new security assistance with humanitarian funding amounts to $2.2 billion in additional support for the Ukrainian people. We should be clear about what Russia's doing. It is purposefully attacking Ukraine's critical infrastructure, destroying the systems to provide heat and light to the Ukrainian people during the coldest, darkest part of the year. Russia is using winter as a weapon, freezing people, starving people.
Beaver says, doesn't Patriots require U.S. troops on the ground? Yes, but we're not going to tell you about that because, if we tell you about that, it means that we actually have people there. And we don't want you to think that we actually have people there. We want you to think that this war is only fought between Russia and Ukraine, and our funding is the only thing that's keeping Ukraine going, not our service members.
Glad these guys are cool with supporting Nazis. Yahtzees.
Yeah, them types of peoples. Zio's looking over like, oh. It's like, what did you just say to me? Fauci not so obvious with ominous Freemason hand signs. He's an expert. The sign only lasts a fraction of a second. Interesting. Is that the one where you like the okay symbol but held down over your leg? That one? Made you look?
Cutting them off from one another. It's the latest example of the outrageous atrocities the Russian forces are committing against innocent Ukrainian civilians, children, and their families. And the United States is working together with our allies and partners to provide critical equipment to help Ukraine make emergency repairs to their power transmission systems and strengthen the stability of Ukraine's grid in the face of Russia's targeted attacks. We're also working to hold Russia accountable, including efforts in justice for Russia's war crimes in Ukraine. Let me close with this. Tonight is the fourth night of Hanukkah, a time when Jewish people around the world, President Zelensky and many of the families among them, honor the timeless miracle of a small band of warriors fighting for their values and their freedom against a much larger foe, and how they endured and how they overcame. How the flame of faith, with only enough oil for one day, burned brightly for 8 days. The story of survival and resilience that reminds us that the coldest days of the year, that light will always prevail over darkness, and hope drives away despair. And that the human spirit is unconquerable as long as
it's on what?
Unconquerable.
Oh unconquerable? What the hell's unconquerable mean? Anybody tell me what unconquerable means? Yes, Beaver, we are still on YouTube. I probably won't shut it off tonight or whatever because we're not going to go anything further than watching these couple of videos to go along with this. There are two of them. We're like 20 minutes into this one, or about 40 minutes into the show. So you do have to kind of can't eat conch? Oh, okay. Good to know.
Pepsi.
As there are good people willing to do what is right. This year has brought so much needless suffering and loss to the Ukrainian people. But I want you to know, President Zelensky, I want you to know that all the people of Ukraine to know as well. The American people have been with you every step of the way, and we will stay with you. We will stay with you for as long as it takes. What you're doing, what you've achieved, it matters not just to Ukraine, but to the entire world. And together, I have no doubt we'll keep the flame of liberty burning bright, and the light will remain and prevail over the darkness. Thank you for being here, Mr. President. We're going to stand with you.
A conch sounds like a cock with a bend in it. Oh. Good one, T3.
Funny.
Joe can't conk me over the head with sense. Huh?
Unconquerable.
Exactly, Matthew. T3 like Clinton. Oh no.
Thank you. Шановний пане президент.
Dear Mr. President, please put
Speak
on
English. I know you can.
Once again, Mr. President, President Biden, audience,
I know
journalists.
it's just nitpicking, but still.
Wait a minute. Did he seriously tell him to put his earpiece in? That's what he seriously just did that.
Mr. President, please put on equipment. Once again.
Please put on the equipment.
Please put on the equipment, Mr. President. That's hilarious. It's funny.
Mr. Oh my gosh, I can make a meme out of that. Mr. President, please put on the equipment.
Just like she's doing karate over there, doesn't she? Just
Kind
doing
of
some
equipment
karate.
is he putting on?
Yeah, what kind of lacy kind of?
Please put that your surrogate brain back in, please. Your handler piece. That's the good.
Please put on the equipment, Mr. President.
I just noticed like whenever he's talking, it's just the worst feeling. It's always been the worst feeling I get, like just listening to it. It's like a mixture of shame and hopelessness and anger. And just like, and then, and then excitement for what he's going to like say stupid next. Has there been a worse president ever in the history of this country? There can't be.
No, I know there's a bunch of people that'd be like, oh, what about this one or that one? Name off people like Woodrow Wilson or something, and be like, when it really seriously comes down to it, I don't think that there's anybody that's worse than this guy that they're actually trying to push as being the best guy ever. I really seriously don't think so.
I mean, they're pushing him as competent. That's the crazy part. I mean, he's not even close to competent. It's like, and then you just look at him and you know what he's done. That's been on record. That's been out there and for the public to see. And it's just like disgusting. It's like it's really the epitome of the symbol of the state of our country. That guy is our president, and this is what's going on. Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. President, President Biden, audience, journalists, ladies and gentlemen, I came here to the United States to forward the word of thanks to the people of America, people who do so much for Ukraine. I am thankful for all of this. This visit to the United States.
We appreciate all the dollary dues.
It's Kabuki Theater. Yes. If your memorable speech includes saying "fetch it," then you're a bad president. Yes, exactly.
It became really a historic one for our relations with the United States and the American leadership. In the last 30 days of this war, we have started a new phase of our interrelations with the United States. We became a real partners and allies with the content. And I felt today during all of my meetings and during our talks. Once again, I would like to thank Mr. President, President Biden, for his candid support and what is very important, the understanding of Ukraine, and for the support of the international coalition to strengthen international law. I am grateful to President Biden for his personal efforts, his steps.
The White
that
House can't get a better mic than that.
The White House can't get a better mic than that. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. It's really hard to actually listen to and hear. It's like she's not speaking up, and it's very hard to understand what they're actually trying to say.
The mic's very poppy.
Right. John says the signer on the right hand of the screen is bad juju, voodoo. Yeah, I bet. There's a lot of people that feel the same way, that just don't like having that person there. If you sold out the presidency to China, you might be a Biden. Exactly, Dark Lotus.
Yeah,
yes, you just might be. The only partner you have is the big guy. Well, and I see T3 actually saying that she actually feels sorry for the guy because it's most likely he's just a puppet. And it's a great point, because when it comes down to it, it greatly could be what is actually happening is he's actually being just ushered out in front of us and allowed us to think that he's actually doing his job when he's really not the one that's doing anything.
Are you talking about Zelensky or Biden?
Yes,
both
of them. No, I'd separate that, man. I don't ever feel sorry for Biden. I don't care if he was getting eaten alive by dogs and a piano fell on him, and I don't know. He lost all his money at the same time. I would say he deserved every bit of it because he's a pedophile. He grabs children, he sniffs them, he does things he shouldn't do.
We are on YouTube.
Well, I mean,
we are on YouTube.
Kind of forgot that.
We didn't mean that. We didn't mean that. We're just saying.
I'm just saying that in the world where people were saw things in a way that that it could have potentially happened in that world, not here, where you guys decide what reality is.
Yourself and Matthew both of you are both like, I feel zero sympathy for this guy, for this potato, for this asshole, for this piece of shit that actually put in this place. I don't like him either. I never have. I've paid attention to this guy over the last how many decades that he's actually been there, gone back and actually looked at the stuff that he's actually done, and actually realized that he is not the right person for the job, and he's never been the right person for the job. He's always just kind of been put there as a placeholder to keep us all thinking that he's actually something that he's not. He's a worthless, steaming pile of shit.
Yeah, and that's the difference right there for me, is that I just realized that I don't, and he's in a very, very small category of people in this world that I look at it this way, but I don't see him as human, man. I really don't see him as part of humanity, see him as outside of humanity, not human, in that sense that he doesn't know how to participate in the humanity of our world. So that's what it is. He's been inhumane so much that he doesn't have it, in my opinion. Back to you, Koolfrogg.
That's all I got to say about that.
A global South, when all countries of the world take some position and are focusing on cooperation and mutual understanding. This is very useful for all of the countries, for Ukraine, for the United States. I want to thank the Congress for bipartisan, bicameral support, and I am looking forward to good meetings with the members of the Congress. And
real quick, I see T3 says, I honestly know very little about him. I told you all that. I know you have. And that's the sad part, is there's so many that know so little about him and everything that he's ever done, and they still went ahead and voted for him because he wasn't orange man bad. That's what the big thing was, is they didn't care. They didn't care just as long as it wasn't the other guy. As opposed to voting for something that they wanted, they voted for something or against something they didn't want. And that's what they're actually creating now with the rest of us that are quote unquote Trump supporters, or somebody that doesn't like Joe Biden is the other side. There's so many of us that actually do know about him and everything he's been about, that we actually just look at it and be like, as opposed to voting for what's best, we're actually voting for or against what's bad. And that's what's wrong with this country right now, is everybody's doing the same thing and voting against what's bad, as opposed to voting for actual ideals and actual reasons to actually vote for somebody, to put somebody in place. Ever seen the pic of Biden's and Carter's? Yes. Yeah, that's a horrible picture. It makes the Carters look like they're little Muppets, and Joe Biden's just this huge giant. I lost 3 friends this week because I wouldn't agree with their line on trans kids. Yep. I understand. Long-term friends that can actually turn into nothing more than maybe an acquaintance within moments, because you don't believe the same way they do. It happens more often than you'd actually like to think. It's very disturbing that people can't actually go along with others' opinions and just be like, oh, okay, you have an opinion. Awesome. It's just something that doesn't exist. All my friends and family are based. #blessed.
Hashtag blessed indeed.
Huh? That's awesome, Ms. Dinga Dinga. That's pretty much where everybody that I'm friends and family with now is, that's where they are, because the rest of them that they're gone. They no longer exist. They don't want to be in my realm. I don't want them in mine, and I don't want to be around them either. It's sad that's how things have actually become.
A lot of division, and that's intentional.
Mm-hmm.
Make no mistake.
Sure is.
They're just going to continue to sow more and more division as much as they possibly can to actually create even more separation. Because if they can keep people separated, our thoughts and opinions become vacant and no. But
yeah, well, that thing is that they, it's not. This is an ongoing thing. It's like a business. It's a machine that's running all the time. They've been doing it since the beginning of the country. I mean, if you really look back and see the ways that they divide people, right? And the more division, the more they can break people apart, the easier it is to control them. Now, we're in the stages. You think it can't get worse than this? Well, when the snitch state is on top of us, right? And nobody trusts each other anymore. Then you'll see, like, that's the ultimate goal right there. It's like nobody trusted anybody, everybody on the working for the government, the establishment. Mentally and physically. Yep. It'll be utopia. It'll be great. It'll be great. You can play guitar, get high all day. Right? Yeah. You don't have to go to work. Because every surplus of everything. We'll have everything we need. Good job.
Good job, gang.
Good job, gang. Yeah. Can't wait for that day. It'll be so much fun. I'm going to play my guitar. All right.
The succulent Chinese meal. Good to see us. Says then the CCP and Democrat collaborators have achieved its mission to divide America. Yep, they're doing a great job on continuing to create the division that they've actually created.
Sowing seeds.
T3 says, I came to YouTube thinking I'd find a vote of liberals. Nope. Almost all the people I'm drawn to and interested in are center or right affiliated. Yep, exactly.
Yep. That's what the anti-establishment is. You don't like being told what to do either.
We taken over all your mainstream outlets.
Weird Debbie says, I lost friends on both sides because I wouldn't agree with them. Yeah. That happens more often than you'd like to think.
Yep.
Just not agreeing with somebody would actually cause them to be like, no, I don't want to talk to you no more. Okay, let's try kicking this
forward
through.
to good meetings with the members of the Congress and their support. This is the visit that I'm here today to meet with the Congress. The main issue during today's talks is to strengthen Ukraine. Next year, our movement forward to fight for our freedom and independence. I have good news returning home. President Biden announced a new package of defense support, about $2 billion US, and the strongest element of this package is
About
the
$2
Patriots
billion.
battery
$2 billion,
systems, something that will strengthen our
More
air
money than
defense
I'll ever see in my
significantly.
lifetime.
This is a very important step to create a secure airspace for Ukraine, and that's the only way we would be able to deprive the terrorist country and their terror attack to strike our energy sector, our people, and our infrastructure. We had a very good negotiation and talks about our strategic steps, which we discussed with President Biden, and what we expect next year and for what we are preparing. This is very important for all Ukrainians, and I am hopeful. And once again, thank you, Mr. President, for 45 billion, because this is a big.
Thank you for 45 billion.
Thanks for the 45 billion.
Thank you. Thanks for taking the money out of your citizens' pockets and putting it in mine.
We really appreciate.
I'll make sure that I make it back to yours.
Yeah,
Okay,
we'll
big
pay
guy.
you back. Yeah, big guy. Fuck. It's infuriating, man.
Assistance, and I hope that the Congress will approve this financial assistance for our country. This is almost 45 billion. Thank you very much for the support. Every dollar of this investment for the United States is going to be a strengthening of global security. I know that the American leadership will be strong and will play important role in global scope. And the United States will help us to defend our values and independence. And regardless of changes in the Congress, I believe that there will be bipartisan and bicameral support. And I know that everybody works for this. And of course, during all of my meetings today, we discussed issues of standoff against terror of Russia, the destruction of our energy infrastructure. We need to survive this winter. We need to protect our people, and we need to be very specific in this area. This is a key humanitarian issue for us right now. This is
key humanitarian issues. Speaking of humanitarian issues, I see T3 says, how much did they put toward ending the homeless crisis? Absolutely nothing. Because, who cares?
You can't end it. You can't end it. Most of these people that are, well, not war homeless, but like homeless just in general are that way by they're that way by choice.
By choice, right. Yeah. As a right winger, I have lost friends and been pre-marginalized by lefties my entire life. Seen it all around me, I can honestly say I have never seen a lefty get dumped by a right over politics. Yeah, that's usually something that you don't see, because most of us that are quote unquote on the right or center or to right would actually go and be like, hey, welcome, glad you're here. Let's hold a conversation, and we would actually talk to them about what's actually happening, as opposed to just shutting them down and say no. I've seen it over and over again, and it is something. It's kind of interesting. Mike Cohagen says bullshit. Well, we'll see. Zelensky looks pretty casual. Yeah, he does, right?
The survival issue. We are discussing sanctions and legal pressure on the terrorist country Russia. Russia needs to be held accountable for
Terrorist
everything it
country.
does against us, against our people, against Europe and the whole free world. And it is very important that we have the peace formula. And for that, we offer very specific steps what America can do to help us to implement them. We propose global formula for peace summit. I'm thankful for our American counterparts that they feel us and understand how important it is to continue and stay on course and work on integrity of the country and international rule of law. We will also need, as soon as our defense capabilities will be strengthened in the next few months. I don't want to discuss it in details right now. I believe you understand why, but I'm very grateful to President Biden. Thank you for your attention to all of these issues. Glory to Ukraine.
Very much, Mr. President.
What the?
Glory to Ukraine. Okay, sure.
That didn't seem nationalist at all.
No. Love of country? You can love your country, but I can't love mine? No, that sounds great.
Notice she didn't say glory to America. You know, the one just giving them fuck tons of money.
The ones that just gave them $45 billion? Yeah.
Wow.
He's rich and safe right now. Why would he be stressed? Right, exactly. If I had his money, I think a lot of my stress would actually go away.
Why don't we ask the Ukrainian people if they've seen a dime? That'd be interesting.
Tweety U.S. News. I'm late. What's up? How you doing? Glad you're here.
President, we're going to take questions from 4 different reporters, and let's start with Alex of Yahoo News.
Mr. President, 2022, you presided over a bipartisan international coalition to support Ukraine. How will you keep that coalition from fraying in 2023? And President Zelensky, welcome to Washington on this beautiful winter day. What is your message to the American people?
More money, please.
First, I'm not at all worried about holding the alliance together, NATO and European Union, as well as other nations. Assume this is simultaneous. All right. Okay. I've never seen NATO or the EU more united about anything at all. And I see no sign of there being any change. We all know what's at stake here. Our European partners, all the more so. They fully understand it. This is about, we've never seen a major invasion of a European country since World War II. And they see no signs of that Putin is going to do anything to change that unless we resist and we help the Ukrainians resist. We all know what's at stake, the very idea of sovereignty, the UN Charter. Putin thought he would weaken NATO. Instead, he strengthened NATO. I once said to him that we talk about he wanted to see Europe end up being divided. And instead, what did he do? He produced a more united Europe with Sweden and Finland joining. So I don't see any reason to believe there'll be any lessening of support. And as we reach out to our NATO allies, our Secretary of Defense and our Secretary of State, we get continued support, not only there, but also from around the world, from Japan and many other countries as well. So I feel very good about the solidarity of support for Ukraine.
Thank you for your question. You asked me what is the message to American people. I think I will. So very important for me, and I think so that we have the same values and the same understanding of the life, the sense of the life. My message: I wish you peace. I think that is the main thing, and you understand it only when the war in your country, when somebody like these terrorists from Russia come to your houses. And I wish you to see your children alive and adult. And I wish you to see your children when they will go to universities and to see their children. I think that is the main thing what I can wish you. And of course, to be together with us, jointly, because we really fight for our common victory against this tyranny. That is real life. And we will win. And I really want win together. Thanks so much. Not.
So now he can speak English?
Yep, see that too?
Just so happens to be. Oh, okay. Now you can. All right. That sounds great. Thank you for dragging us along and making us listen to some person that can barely speak English herself. To now hear your responses to actual questions in English, because it just the whole thing that's just freaking ridiculous.
Such a show. Everything is just a show.
Sorry, I'm sure.
You call on one of your people, press person?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Dmitry Anopshin, Ukrainian television. President Zelensky, President Biden, I got a question to both of you, but firstly, as Ukrainian, and I mean it, I want to thank the United States for supporting my country. And, my family is in Ukraine, and I definitely understand they will not be alive today if America will not support my country, both politically and militarily. So thank you for this. It's honest. And as of my question, we enter a new phase of this war, and you definitely discussed today which path to choose, how the war could come to an end, and what's next. Will it turn into a new counteroffensive or some kind of peace talks? So, Mr. Biden, Mr. Zelensky, could you share your vision? What's the fair way to end this war, and how do you understand this word's fair peace? Thank you.
My view.
Your guy.
I think we have. I see.
Although I like him very much already.
You have started this question.
I'm sorry. Sometimes we show my name.
You have started by stating that your family is in Kiev and without the assistance of the United States. This is absolutely true. The U.S. leadership in this assistance is strong. And again, I would like to remind you that your family will be in danger without.
John says, how do you stop the madness? Stand up. Stands up, the game ends.
If you stop doing what they say all at once, that's it.
Where everybody, not just you, not just me, not just Jimmy or Winning or everybody, every single person needs to stand up to the bullshit, and they'll stop playing their games because they'll finally realize that we actually do not believe a word that is coming out of their mouths.
The armed forces of Ukraine, which is very important. That concerns your questions per se. What would you like to hear? Just peace? I don't know. I don't know what just peace is. It's a very philosophical description. If there is a just war, I don't know. For all of us, peace, just peace is different. For me, peace is no compromises as to the sovereignty, freedom, and territorial integrity of my country, the payback for all the damages inflicted by Russian aggression. I'm sorry, I'm reminding.
So what's up?
You can't have peace without payback, huh?
Yeah, it sounds very peaceful. It sounds wonderful to actually think about it that way. That you can't actually speak of having peace without me coming at you first and taking out my aggressions as well. It sounds like you kind of there's something wrong with that whole thought process. Matthew says I'm supposed to be mad at Russia when my own government, FBI, CIA, Justice Department are against me. Putin isn't calling me an evil white person and trying to cut my kid's schlong off. Right? It's they're against that kind of thing over there. They're totally against that kind of thing. It's this government, ours, that's sitting there trying to tell us what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. So they can actually keep control of the people of the United States. Excellent point. Seems like the Russia argument is very outdated. Yeah, right.
I'm talking about children a lot today, but as a father, I would like to emphasize, how many
Of adult children. His youngest is 18. Don't tell me that you're going to feel the same way about somebody when it's just not true. Not that you stop loving your children once they get old enough, but as far as that goes, some of these mind tricks are kind of bullshit.
how many parents lost their sons and daughters on the front lines.
He's gonna cry again.
So, what is just peace?
It kind of sounds like it, doesn't it?
It's getting close, I think.
CB4K, good to see you. Glad you're here. Enjoy the show.
For them, money is,
or as much as you can, because we're listening to these fools.
Yeah, we're doing it.
Nothing, and no compensations or reparations are of no consequence. They live by revenge. Otje, I think this is a tremendous tragedy, and the longer the war lasts, the longer this aggression lasts, there will be more parents who live for the sake of vengeance or revenge. And I know a lot of people like that. So there can't be any just peace in the war that was imposed on us by these, I don't know how to describe that because we are in the White House and I can't find the proper language. So these inhuman,
and I can't find the appropriate language, and that old piece of crap is sitting there, and that makes him giggle.
Yeah, because he's just shithead.
I can't find the right words in this. That's funny.
It makes him giggle because he can't ever find the right words.
He's like, yeah, me too.
I feel that.
I can never find the right words. I'm with you.
Maybe I'm Ukrainian.
EFAP in the White House at midnight is better than any other time of day. All my shits are gone.
humans, I would say.
Let me respond. I think we have shared exact same. And that a free, independent, prosperous, and secure Ukraine is the vision. We both want this war to end. We both want it to end.
You never should have started
and
it.
As I've said,
they don't want it to end because that means less money in their own pockets. They don't want it to end whatsoever. Winning says Yuri was absolutely right. Yeah. Yeah, you could have just said that.
I was responding to Crown Target. I was backing him up.
What's up, Crown Target? Good to see you. Yuri was right. looking back, it's revealing why the R collusion was a big push at every corner. It let them set up their current grift. We heard that.
Happy birthday to me.
It could end today if Putin had
Jimmy?
any dignity at all and did the
Jimmy.
right thing and just
Jimmy.
pulled out. But that's not going to happen. Not going to happen. It's not going to happen now. So what comes next? We talked about today was we're going to continue to help Ukraine succeed on the battlefield. It can succeed in the battlefield with our help and the help of our European allies and others. So that if and when President Zelensky is ready to talk with the Russians, he will be able to succeed as well because he will have won on the battlefield. And, you know, I don't think we should underestimate the impact this war is having on
Madcore mofo in the house. How's it going, brother?
Russia and the losses they're suffering. And you saw just, I think it was 2 days ago, Putin saying that this is much tougher than he thought. He thought he could break NATO. He thought he could break the West. He thought he could break the alliance. He thought he could be welcomed by the Ukrainian people that were Russian speaking. He was wrong, wrong, and wrong. He continues to be wrong. The sooner he makes it's clear that he cannot possibly win this war, that's when the time we have to put this president in a position to be able to decide how he wants the war to end.
You see, there's a couple happy birthdays in that chat for you there, bro.
Hey, that's tremendous. Appreciate that.
My turn, huh?
Yes. Yeah.
Phil Madley, Matt Madley of CNN.
X23.
Let's pick the guy from CNN and see if he asks me a trash question. See how many softballs
for 100.
Oh, sending you a booby hug for your birthday.
Oh, hot damn.
Whether they lie about something being there or not, they are bad at lying productively. Good point. Putin wants the U.S. to stop violating the 1989-1990 promise. Oh, okay. I mean, we can just go ahead and dissolve NATO as the Warsaw Pact no longer exists as well. I mean, there's so many things that we can actually do, but we don't.
Thank you, Mr. President. Welcome, Mr. President. Mr. President, to start with you, your advisors often talk about how critically important you view face-to-face interaction. I'm wondering, after spending 2+ hours face-to-face with President Zelensky, what you learned or what you took from the meeting that perhaps
Not
you
a
couldn't
damn thing.
glean or learn
He's not
in
an
phone
observant
calls,
man.
video conferences.
Did you have more of a thought, or?
Nope, just that. He's not an observant man. I doubt he noticed anything about this dude. He's just here to do the money thing and get it done with.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait until we get to the next video.
What you took from the meeting that perhaps you couldn't glean or learn in the phone calls or video conferences, and somewhat tied to that, was there any discussion related to the U.S. assessment that Russia would not take escalatory action now that Patriots are being sent? A Patriot battery will be delivered.
Let me answer the first question, the first part of your question. You know, I get kidded for saying that there's all politics is personal. It's all about looking someone in the eye, and I mean it sincerely. I don't think there's any substitute for sitting down face to face with a friend or a foe and looking them in the eye. And that's exactly done that more than once. We're going to continue to do it. And the winter is setting in, and Putin is increasingly going after civilian targets and women and children, orphanages. This guy is, well, but he's going to fail, and he's going to fail. He's already failed because he now knows that there's no way he's ever going to occupy all of Ukraine. There's no way in which he's going to be accepted by the Ukrainian people. And so he's failed in the past, and it was very important for him and everyone else to see that President Zelensky and I are united, two countries together, to make sure he cannot succeed. And I think I may be mistaken, but I know I judge every leader by the way what they say to me, their consistency, and looking me in the eye. This guy has to his very soul is who he says he is. It's clear who he is. He's willing to give his life for his country, and all the folks that came with him today. And so I think it's important for him to know we are going to do.
John says Biden looks his daughter in the eye in the shower. I bet he does.
And says, "Well, start scrubbing."
We fought bloody wars all over Central America because Russians were infiltrating 1,000 miles away in the 80s, and they act like Russia should accept NATO on their border. We are the baddies here. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we as in NATO, as in not the United States, or we as in NATO and the United States? Because really, when it comes down to it, NATO's supposed to be a bigger thing of 30 plus countries. I say plus because there's some talk about, adding a couple. There was something that, there's a potentiality of Turkey not liking the issue. I don't know if they actually finally did add the other two. Is it now 32? But either way, it's supposed to be a bigger thing, So as far as so that way they can't just point the fingers at the United States. They actually point the fingers at a larger area and be like, oh, it's NATO. NATO does what we say. Technically, that's true. But as far as that goes, it's meant to make it look like it's a bigger thing, and it's more than just the United States. That way, when the finger gets pointed, it's not just pointed in our direction; it's pointed in multiple directions at once.
Everything in our power to see that he succeeds. What was the second part of your question?
I see you, Darth.
You've discussed how the U.S. calculated the escalatory effect of sending a Patriot missile battery to Ukraine.
I did not discuss that at all with the president, but we do not. It's a defensive system. It's a defensive weapon system.
What is that?
It's defensive, and it's easy to not. And we'd love to not have to have them use it. Just stop the attacks.
But
again, welcome. You mentioned earlier that you wanted to make this trip for a while now. Why now? And also, can you tell me what you think the message you are sending to President Putin is, given the fact that 24 hours ago you were on the ground in the front lines with artillery echoing behind you, and now you find yourself in the White House standing next to the president?
Well, it's time to cap off the old bank account, so I had to come back for a refresh.
Thank you very much for your question. As to what is the message for Putin? I am standing here in the United States with President Biden on the same podium because I respect him.
The same podium? Is that one?
Get over there next to your boyfriend there.
Is that one podium? I see two. That's right. That's right, Darth. I read it. I just can't read it out loud. I did read it, though. How's it going, brother? Good to see you.
As a person, as a president, as a human being for his position. And for me, this is a historic moment. I can send messages to President Biden. For example, If it's not serious, you said, what's going to installed. After that, we will send another signal to President Biden that we would like to get more patriots.
Oh yeah. Yeah, laugh it up.
What? What the shit? How is that even funny?
Uh huh.
That is a lot lie. We are in war. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
Yes, it is true. We are very dependent. Yes.
As to President Putin, in 2019, we had a Normandy meeting. In 2019, I became the president of Ukraine, and at that time, we were sending maximum messages to President Putin, telling him that there shouldn't be a full-scale invasion, to stop aggression, to renew our territorial integrity, to find diplomatic solution. God forbid, we should not have a full-scale war. At that time, he said, it won't happen. He was lying. So what kind of message I can send him after he actually destroyed our life, is destroying our life? He can even go further, somewhere where the Soviet Union stayed before this. So he might want to invade those territories too. I believe that there is something mortal about his inadequate approach to the world. Why we need to send him a message? He needs to be interested in getting attention from the world, because he is not a subject of civilized people. He should be interested in trying to save something of his culture and history of his country. So that's his problem now.
Dang. You guys ever notice like Zelensky's kind of sounds like a girl?
Right?
He gets all excited and his voice goes really high.
Bottom surgeries.
T3, good point. They're robbing us blind and we're celebrating them. It's as hilarious as it is ridiculous. Yep. And very
That's
disturbing.
the New American way. The New American way.
Here, have our money. We don't need it. Be happy.
You'll make us happy when you take it. That's all we know how to do.
Debbie says, I'm going to head out. Take care, everyone. Thank you, Debbie, for being around.
Later, Debbie.
Had
Bye,
enjoyed it.
Debbie.
Make sure you hit that like button for me. And have a wonderful night. Sleep well. America prints money for the world. Sean D. Friend. Good to see you. Glad you're here.
Sean the friend.
Sean the friend. If we don't lost money.
This will be the last question.
Olga Kushelenko, 1+1 TV channel. When the full-scale invasion started, U.S. officials said that Ukraine cannot receive Patriots because, as you said, it might be unnecessary escalation. And now it is happening. Right now, today, it is happening. And now Ukraine desperately needs more capabilities, including long-range missiles. Maybe I sound naive, but can we make a long story short and give Ukraine all capabilities it needs?
Gee,
and
can't we just go
liberate all
full bore and just give Ukraine everything? God, what a bitch.
Sure. Let's just give them a little bit more because, why not? Another billion here, another billion there. Pocket change. Go ahead. Have
How
it.
are people not paying attention? I just don't get it.
I don't think they care. I don't think most of the people just they're like, I got better things to deal with than worry about what the world is actually, handing out. Not paying attention is the easy way to go. Vatican has problems with Russian patriarchal Orthodox Christians.
Yep.
territories rather sooner than later? Thank you.
Well, his answer is yes.
Do you just look at the look on his face as he's like, what did you just say for me? What? My answer is yes. Are you sure? Very wide-eyed, and he's like, huh. Jean is a bot. I'm not so positive about that. She's one of the nicest bots that I've ever met.
All right.
I've actually heard her talk. It's very interesting. She's such a nice person.
Laughter right after that.
And he's like, "Oh, okay, I'm supposed to laugh and smile at you. Okay, I get it."
I agree.
He should have said he agrees. He like totally missed it. They would have like had the whole place would have been rolling even more than they already are. He totally missed it.
Let me be straightforward. Look,
That's the joke right there.
Yeah, let me be straightforward.
Let me be straightforward.
I gotta see this. There you go.
Watch me zig and zag as it comes straight at you. She's not your bot. That's for sure. I've seen that. I know better, Madcore. I know better. I've seen her around plenty of places.
Important to remember that before Russia invaded, we dedicated an enormous amount of security assistance to Ukraine. And we've given Ukraine what they needed when they needed to defend themselves. And since the invasion, that has resulted in more than $20 billion in terms of security assistance. Just today, I approved another $1.8 billion in additional assistance to Ukraine for it to succeed on the battlefield. And we're focused on working with allies and partners to generate capability in 4 key areas. Air defense, as we know today, the Patriot is the best of that. Secondly is to...
Secondly is to...
Rock on, baby.
And we're looking to do more. We provided hundreds of advanced artillery systems and from dozens of countries. Thirdly, we've worked with partners to get Ukraine tanks and other armored vehicles. And fourthly, we've announced today another 200,000 rounds of additional ammunition.
Let's list this list one more time for y'all. If you didn't catch it before, we're gonna
Just in
list
case
off,
you weren't pissed enough.
right. We're gonna list it one more time.
Wow.
Madcore says,
yeah.
LOL, think y'all are getting too serious. Need to chill a little. LOL. Yeah, I know, right? So serious.
But it's our money, Madcore.
An additional $1 billion for spontaneous campfires.
Yeah, just in case.
Oh, great. He can't count to 2. Yep, exactly.
And you say, why don't we just give Ukraine everything there is to give? Well, for 2 reasons. One, there's an entire alliance.
We already
critical
we did
to
that.
stay with Ukraine.
The
idea that we would give Ukraine material that is fundamentally different than is already going there would have a prospect of breaking up NATO and breaking up the European Union and the rest of the world. We're going to give Ukraine what it needs to be able to defend itself, to be able to succeed and succeed in the battlefield. And the other piece of this is, you may recall, one of the reasons why I have spent, well, I won't tell you the calculation, but I've spent.
Oh, I won't tell you.
Then you'd be really pissed.
Because then you'd actually know how much we've actually given to these fucks. And yeah, like you said, be very pissed. Gene, do you have a purpose?
What is my purpose?
Is the Ukraine-Russia war still going on? Yes.
Yeah.
If it's not, why are we sending more and more money and equipment to Ukraine?
Several hundred
If you're
hours.
wondering why there's no coverage, it's because we're fighting the war with Nazis and have been since 08. Yahtzees, excuse me. I'm bad at that. Trying to get better.
Yeah, them.
Face to face with our European allies and the heads of state of those countries, and making the case as to why it was overwhelming in their interest that they continue to support Ukraine. They understand it fully, but they're not looking to go to war with Russia. They're not looking for a third world war. And I think it can all be avoided by making sure that Ukraine is able to succeed in the battlefield. So anyway, there's more to say, but I probably already said too much. Thank you. Well, thank you.
You'll always
all.
say too much.
He's like, well, thank you all. They're getting ready to go away. So they wait a couple hours before they actually make their way to joint Congress. And then they actually go ahead and they do some weird, strange things where they actually allow Zelensky on the floor of Congress and behind their podiums to actually address Congress itself. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Why would you allow this? What is going on here? Why is this even a thing? It's really disturbing how far they actually go and what they allow. Okay, let's see. Share this screen.
Has any other world leader ever addressed Congress before?
Yeah, they have. Looking around to see if the last time he actually alludes to a couple things as they're actually speaking about such. The last time somebody actually did it, and it actually goes back to Churchill actually coming and addressing joint Congress.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but it's not the only one. But they actually address that, to a point or whatever. And I'm like, what the hell? Really? You're gonna actually put yourself up to being somebody similar to Churchill, huh? Sure. But there you go. So Sean, many have. He's not the only. Looking into it, there's quite a few that actually have come across in front of joint Congress. I just don't like how they actually go about doing this and allowing this to happen. You can see they got, looking at the screen, you can see they got everybody, almost everybody's there. The ones that aren't there, majority of Republicans did not show up for it. And the couple that did really just kind of sat back and didn't join in all the festivities of getting up and clapping, standing ovations, whatever. You get like Lauren Boebert refusing to stand up and clap or even pay attention, as well as a couple others. What does Switzerland think? Who knows? Do you know? Would you like to share? I have coworkers who can't read a regular ruler. They're supposed to be in a shipping department. There are basic skills everyone should be able to conquer. I mean, there's a lot of. I seen the couple chats that you had put out there about these. I can't think of what her name is now. Would you say her name was? Either way, there's a young lady that's out there that actually does street interviews or whatever and asks kids if they can name countries, if they can name anything, if there's anything that they can remember. And, it's like they know who the Kardashians are, but they have no clue who anybody in the, in a seat of government really is. They can't. There's so much that these generations that are coming that just don't know how to do. But at least they know how to identify. That's what matters. They can identify. They can identify you. They can identify me, and they can actually put their own words out there and whatever they're supposed to mean, Z's and Zers and all this other bullshit. Sheeple Hunter, I'm black pilled. Yeah, I hear you, brother.
The president of Ukraine.
That's a little loud. Tweety says parents need to be teaching their kids this stuff, and that's the thing is, we can't hold the schools accountable for all of it, as about 50% of the stuff that you actually learn, it still comes from the household. And if you're only learning about 50% from the household, 50% for school, they're not paying attention in one of the two places, they're going to fail. They're going to fail. And because, teachers are allowing, trophies, bless you, for, second place runners ups and whatever else is, and just allowing things to happen. It's dang, bro.
Goodness, falling to pieces. Excuse me.
No, you're okay. Zelensky is maybe 5 foot tall. Yeah, he's very short. Dark Lotus says black pills are jagged, motherfuckers. They're like 90-degree angles and about 2 inches long. And they're like, here, swallow this.
Big old horse pill.
Yay, look at us all virtue signaling. Yay. Look, all of us with our yellows and our blues because yay.
It's not a football team here. I've never clapped that long for anything. This is just incredible.
Miss Dinga Dinga says, I want to see the shameless fucking Republicans. The thing is most of them did not show up. Most of them did not show up for it. They don't care. They want nothing to do with it. Because they actually see what's actually happening. They understand that allowing this and actually showing this show of this show is ridiculous. Cuckold Simps and Fancy, where did that go? And Fancy Dress are still cocks. Yes. I see Beavers over on the other side on that Rumble side sitting there holding up the show with great liquor saying people voted for this regardless of anything that they did wrong. Enough people voted for this and that's what you get. Clown world. Madcore. Oh my God, what's wrong with the face? Oh wait, it's normal.
Members of Congress. I've introduced members of Congress. I have the high privilege and the distinct honor of presenting to you His Excellency Volodymyr Zelensky, President of the Ukraine.
Even she says it wrong. It's President of Ukraine. There's no "the" in that. I've been corrected so many times by people that actually come from Ukraine that says don't use the word "the" in front of that. That's not how it works. Can't even virtual single right. The flag is mirror reversed left to right.
Yes. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you. It's too much for me.
It is.
All this for our great people. Thank you so much. Dear Americans, in all states, cities, and communities, all those who value freedom and justice, who cherish it as strongly as we Ukrainians, in all our cities, in each and every family. I hope my words of respect and gratitude resonate in each American heart.
I mean, really, he speaks better English than Joe Biden. I mean, kind of interesting.
Madam Vice President, I thank you for your efforts in helping Ukraine. Madam Speaker, you the full-fledged war. Thank you very much. Great honor. Thank you. Great privilege to be here.
Thank you for showing
Dear
up on front
members
of my
the
green
Congress,
screen.
representatives of both parties who also visited Kyiv, esteemed congressmen and senators from both parties who will visit Ukraine, I'm sure, in the future. Dear representatives of diaspora, this chamber and spread across the country, dear journalists. It's a great honor for me to be at the US Congress and speak to you and all Americans. Against all odds,
Dark Lotus says Zelensky puts on sweats as he walks into Congress like he owns the damn place. Our country is embarrassing. Yeah, you notice that he changed his shirt from one green shirt to another, and it's seriously wearing a sweatshirt. What the hell? We give you billions of dollars and you don't even use it on even a decent suit to actually appear in front of Congress, where everybody else is actually dressed to a T.
Well, to be fair, Koolfrogg, not everybody has a, this is a style that you have. Some people just don't have style. That's what they do. They wear what's comfortable, and they're like, well, I don't care. But he probably wouldn't even know how to pick it out, perhaps.
I guess.
No, there really is. I mean, where do you learn style
Shit
from?
green. Wear shit green all the time.
Yep. Like the world he grew up in. Or he's just lazy.
All the suit money went back to the clapping seals. Zelensky was an actor before he became president of Ukraine. Yes, he was. He was an actor. Uh, Voice of Paddington Bear over in Ukraine, as well as a couple other things that he's actually done. It just the stuff that he actually did, as an actor before. I mean, I really don't look down at actors being, politicians, as I actually kind of very fond of somebody like Ronald Reagan, who was an actor before becoming a politician. Just saying.
And doom and gloom scenarios, Ukraine didn't fall. Ukraine is alive and kicking. Thank you. And it gives me good reason to share with you our first joint victory. We defeated Russia in the battle for minds of the world.
Minds of the world.
We have no fear, nor should anyone in the world have it. Ukraine's gained this victory, and it gives us courage, which inspires the entire world. Americans gained this victory, and that's why you have succeeded in uniting the global community to protect freedom and international law. Europeans gained this victory, and that's why Europe is now stronger and more independent than ever. The Russian tyranny has lost control over us.
Mad Cormofo celebrating war. Disgusting. Yeah, that's what they do. Because, if it's the best way to do it, apparently. Sheeple Hunter says, I respect Putin more than Zelensky or Biden. Probably and Biden put together. Just saying. That not that I feel that way, but, at the same time, I'm sure there's quite a few people that actually do. It's just... I don't like any of it. I don't like any of it. It's all show. It's all just to take our money out of our pockets and funnel it through back into the politicians' pockets. So it doesn't stain his nice clothes, in case someone spills their juice box or fumbles their cone. It's a good point. I'm not inspired. Okay, folks, show's over. I got you, Dark Lotus. I mean, it's pretty much it's very uninspiring, to actually see any of this happening. See, there's a couple Republicans on your screen, or so-called Republicans.
And it will never influence our minds again. Yet, we have to do whatever it takes to ensure that countries of the global south also gain such victory. I know one more, I think, very important thing. The Russians will stand a chance to be free only when they defeat the Kremlin in their minds. Yet, the battle continues, and we have to defeat the Kremlin on the battlefield. Yes, this battle is not only for the territory, for this or another part of Europe. The battle is not only for life, freedom, and security of Ukrainians or any other nation which Russia attempts to conquer. This struggle will define in what world our children and grandchildren will live, and then their children and grandchildren. It will define whether it will be a democracy of Ukrainians and for Americans for all. This battle cannot be frozen. or postponed. It cannot be ignored, hoping that the ocean or something else will provide a protection. From the United States to China, from Europe to Latin America, and from Africa to Australia, the world is too interconnected and interdependent to allow someone to stay aside and at the same time to feel safe when such a battle continues. Our two nations are allies in this battle.
Nope.
And next year will be a turning point. I know it. The point when Ukrainian courage and American resolve must guarantee the future of our common freedom, the freedom of people who stand for their values. Ladies and gentlemen, Americans, yesterday before coming here to Washington, D.C., I was at the front line in our Bakhmut, in our stronghold in the east of Ukraine, in the Donbass. The Russian military and mercenaries have been attacking Bakhmut non-stop since May. They have been attacking it day and night, but Bakhmut stands. Last year, 70,000 people lived there in Bakhmut, in this city, and now only few civilians stay. Every inch of that land is soaked in blood. Roaring guns sound every hour. Trenches in the Donbass change hands several times a day in fierce combat and even hand fighting. But the Ukrainian Donbass stands.
Darce says, I mean, you don't say the Canada, the China, the Mexico, the India, or the Russia. Exactly. It's Ukraine. Dark Lotus, Zelensky is right about that point, about defeating the Kremlin in their minds when speaking about Russians. A lot can be said about about that in most countries about their own governments. Interesting thought, that's for sure. I mean, I bet he's right. I bet you're right on that thought. I really do. I'm so lost for words at this moment that they're allowing this charade to actually, be what it is. It's
that
really
comment really caught my attention too. That we need to defeat them in their minds. It's like, geez, real subversion warfare going on here, huh?
Well, that's been our entire life. It's been going on forever.
Is he trying to pass off as French or Ukrainian French? I'm not positive on that. I really don't know. Our country now pays to censor real news and give propaganda to the public. We're no longer better than other countries. Never have been. Never have been.
Russians use everything they have against Bakhmut and our beautiful cities. The occupiers have a significant advantage in artillery. They have an advantage in ammunition. They have much more missiles and planes than we ever had. And it's true, but our defense forces stand. And we all are.
They clap for so long, I'm able to actually skip to finish the clapping. That's seriously, each time that they've clapped, I've hit that button to jump ahead 5 seconds. And each time, it's so ridiculous how they're actually parading this through and actually just being like, yay, clap at everything that he says. Because it's all so good. No, it's not. Smith-Mundt Act was relaxed in 2012 and sooner allowed for domestic propagandizing with broadcasting and techniques like previously used in foreign problematic nation factions. Also look at the National Defense Authorization Act. Sure.
Proud of them. The Russians' tactic is primitive. They burn down and destroy everything they see. They send thugs to the front lines. They send convicts to the war. They threw everything against us, similar to the other tyranny, which is in the Battle of the Bulge. Threw everything it had against the free world, just like the brave American soldiers, which held their lines and fought back Hitler's forces during the Christmas of 1944. Brave Ukrainian soldiers are doing the same to Putin's forces this Christmas. Ukraine
Seems rehearsed. Yeah.
Its lines and will never surrender.
I mean, I would hope so.
I mean, obviously he's reading word for word.
So here is the front line. The tyranny which has no lack of cruelty against the lives of free people. And your support is crucial, not just to stand in such fight, but to get...
This is a congressional edition of P90X. The ups and downs from clapping are going to blow out a few knees and hips in this crowd. Yeah, they better be careful. They better be careful.
To the turning point to win on the battlefield. We have artillery. Yes. Thank you. We have it. Is it enough? Honestly, not really. To ensure Bakhmut is not just a stronghold that holds, but for the Russian army to completely pull out, more cannons and shells are needed. If so, just like the Battle of Saratoga, the fight for Bakhmut will change the trajectory of our war for independence and for freedom. If your patriots stop the Russian terror against our cities, it will let Ukrainian patriots work to the full to defend our freedom. When Russia cannot reach our cities, but its artillery, it tries to destroy them with missile attacks. More than that, Russia found an ally in this genocidal policy, Iran. Iranian deadly drones sent to Russia in hundreds became a threat to our critical infrastructure. That is how one terrorist has found the other. It is just a matter of time when they will strike against your other allies. If we do not stop them now, we must do it.
Tweety says, did the U.S. start this war?
Yeah.
Yes. I really do think so. I really do think that the United States has a lot to do with starting something that they're going to continue to fund over and over again as much as they possibly can. That's why they're trying to, give them another a bunch of money or whatever, because they're like, oh, let's hurry up and do it, because Congress is going to change here come January, and it's not going to be as easy to push through what they want. for them to push through any more monies to Ukraine, it's going to actually require a lot more thought, and they're going to have to sell themselves to Republicans' whims. So it's like everything that Republicans want, they're also going to get for Ukraine to continue to get more funds. They're going to continue to fund this until through the end of time. There's nothing that's going to actually stop this right now. They don't want to stop it because they know that the billions and billions of dollars being funneled through, quote unquote, laundered, are going to make it right back to these Democrats that are making it happen.
Shameful.
It's a feature, not a bug. Yep, exactly.
A feature. Fucking Bethesda.
I believe there should be no taboos between us in our alliance. Ukraine never asked the American soldiers to fight on our land instead of us. I assure you that Ukrainian soldiers can perfectly operate American tanks.
CIA
Why don't you
wrote
get
the
your own
speech.
damn tanks?
They don't have any.
Sucks to suck then.
You can see more, less and less people are actually standing up to clap for the crap. They're just like, oh, come
They're
on.
sick of it. They're like dying inside each time they do it.
Financial assistance is also critically important, and I would like to thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for both financial packages you have already provided us with and the ones you may be willing to decide on. Your money is not charity.
We are asking for more charity,
In the
though.
global security and democracy that we handle in the most responsible way.
Such lies.
I skipped forward 5 seconds again.
Oh my
Russia. Russia could stop.
Dark Lotus says up down. Ah, fuck it. Yeah, almost like a Sunday church service. After so many times, you just kind of like you slowly you start
like,
standing
all right.
up and kneeling to him. Right? You're just like, oh, okay.
It's aggression. Really, if it wanted to, but you can speed up our and it will prove to any potential aggressor that no one can succeed in breaking national borders. No one committing atrocities and reigning over people against their will. It would be naive to wait for steps towards peace from Russia, which
The word is naive. Naive.
enjoys being a terrorist state.
He's only seen the word written.
Russians are still poisoned by the Kremlin. The restoration of international legal order is our joint task. We need peace. Yes, Ukraine has already offered proposals, which I just discussed with President Biden, our peace formula, 10 points which should and must be implemented for our joint security, guaranteed for decades ahead. And the summit which can be held. I'm glad to stress that President Biden supported our peace initiative today. Each of you, ladies and gentlemen, can assist in the implementation to ensure that America's leadership remains solid, bicameral, and bipartisan. Thank you. You can
I jumped twice on that
sanctions
one.
to make Russia feel how ruinous its aggression truly is. It is in your power, really, to help us bring to justice everyone who started this unprovoked and criminal war. Let's do it. Let terrorists
There's so many of them that are like, oh, Nancy stood up, I must stand up.
Let the terrorist state be held responsible for its terror and aggression and compensate all losses done by this war. Let the world see that the United States are here. Ladies and gentlemen, Americans, in 2 days, we will celebrate Christmas. Maybe candlelit.
Maybe celebrate Christmas. I mean, yes, we will. Whoops.
Not because it's more romantic, no, but because there will be no electricity. Millions won't have neither heating nor running water. All of these will be the result of Russian missile and drone attacks on our energy infrastructure. But we do not complain. We do not judge and compare whose life is easier. Your well-being is the product of your national security, the result of your struggle for independence and your many victories. We, Ukrainians, will also go through our war of independence and freedom with dignity and success. We'll celebrate Christmas. Celebrate Christmas, and even if there is no electricity, the light of our faith in ourselves will not be put out. If Russian missiles attack us, we'll do our best to protect ourselves. If they attack us with Iranian drones and our people will have to go to bomb shelters on Christmas Eve, Ukrainians will still sit down at the holiday table and cheer up each other. And we don't.
They must have used the same writer as what Biden gets. He's talking about sitting around the dinner table.
Have to know everyone's.
No, he calls it the supper table like a boomer.
Remember they tried to cancel Halloween during the pandemic. He's not sure about the most recent memo for Christmas privileges. Yeah, right.
We know that all of us, millions of Ukrainians, wish the same victory. Only victory.
Give me more money if it's make it a victory.
We already built strong Ukraine with strong people, strong army, strong institutions together with you. We developed strong security guarantees for our country and for entire Europe and the world together with you. And also together with you, we'll put in place everyone who will defy freedom. Put in. This will be the basis to protect democracy in Europe and the world over. Now, on the special Christmas time, I want to thank you, all of you. I thank every American family which cherishes the warmth of its home and wishes the same warmth to other people. I thank President Biden and both parties at the Senate and the House for your invaluable assistance. I thank your cities and your citizens who supported Ukraine this year, who hosted our Ukrainians, our people, who waved our national flags, who acted to help us. Thank you all, from everyone who is now at the front line, from everyone who is evading victory. Standing here today, I recall the words of the President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, which are, I think, so good for this moment. the American people, in their righteous might, will win through to absolute victory. The Ukrainian people will win too, absolutely.
Wow. That was pretty bad.
That everything depends on us, on Ukrainian armed forces, yet so much depends on the world. So much in the world depends on you. When I was in Bakhmut yesterday, our heroes gave me the flag, the battle flag, the flag of those
Here we
who
go.
defend Ukraine, Europe, and the world at the cost of their lives. They asked me to bring this flag
Battle flags are
to
racist.
you, to the U.S. Congress, to members of the House of Representatives and senators whose decisions can save millions of people. So let these decisions be taken. Let this flag stay with you, ladies and gentlemen. This flag is a symbol of our victory. In this war, we stand, we fight, and we will win because we are united. Ukraine, America, and the entire free world.
I identify as being allergic to that battle flag.
Hags with a flag.
And if you can see the flag that's actually sitting there, whatever, the way he handed it to him, he handed it to him so that they were showing the back side of that flag. You can see the writing that's on it is actually backwards. It's because it's written on the other side of the flag. He was standing facing them, thinking that he was handing them the right way, and he actually handed it to them the wrong way.
Fail.
Just one thing, if I can, the last thing, thank you so much. May God protect our brave troops and citizens. May God forever bless the United States of America. Merry Christmas and happy, victorious New Year. Slava Ukraini!
So they kissed each other, and now they're blowing each other kisses. I think there's something between Zelensky and Pelosi. I really do. I think there's something going on there.
Gross, dude. Nasty. I don't want to ever have that in my head again.
Thank you so much.
If you didn't hear enough clapping and cheering,
here's some more. But
there's
wait.
some more. Oh, here's a trophy for you.
Please drop it and fall on it head first.
That would be so funny.
They're not a football team.
Oh, he's going to hit the floor. I thought he knocked the Ukraine flag on the ground.
Right. If it wasn't bad enough that they go and they hold up a signed Ukraine flag in
Why is ours in a pyramid?
New
World Order fold.
Yeah, right. They went and they handed him a folded flag of the United States. No, why would they do such a thing? What would make them think that this is okay? And it's so disturbing. just dawned. Hey, y'all. I'm glad you're here. Good to see you. It just kind of this whole charade is ridiculous and kind of stupid, and should never be. Frito Lay, hello, how you doing? Y'all make sure you hit that like button for me. Just how you guys feel about this? How do you feel about this whole them ushers this Ukrainian president through our government to actually tell us, thank you for the money you've given us. Please give us more.
We're just being robbed in broad daylight, and it pisses me off to high holy hell. I can't
Pretty
believe
much what
all
it
we
is.
can do is just sit by while these straight up criminals rob us and like laugh and clap and smile about it. Very irksome.
Well, sweet. Picked up a subscriber. Thank y'all so much. Good to see. Tomorrow, I do have a few things planned. It is Thursday. I will be with the expert for a few hours before running my own show. That should be 10 o'clock Eastern with the expert, midnight with me. With me tomorrow, I will have Alyssa Clips. Bless you.
Thanks, G.
Alyssa Clips will be with me tomorrow. Make sure that if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. We're trying to get to that 1,000. We're so super close, and we'll get there. We'll get there as soon as we possibly can. A lot of it should hopefully happen tomorrow as I'm on with the expert. Again, make sure that you check him out. If you don't know who the expert is, I believe if you put in the expert is on YouTube, you actually will find him. I think we should go away. What do you say, boys?
Yeah, I think.
It's your show, man.
I'm done staring at that.
This is you
guy.
guys always tell me every time I ask a question.
Now,
It's your
if there's
show.
anything else that you want to add, go ahead and add it. Otherwise, you guys can show yourselves out if you'd like.
I'm ready.
All right, go ahead.
I'm ready. I'm ready to chill. Yes. Hey, how's it going? Winning Reality here. I have just released the first of hopefully at least 3 or 4 Christmas specials today. It is graciously a Rumble exclusive only, so you're only going to find it on my Rumble channel. It is called Law Tube Christmas 2022, and this one is called Law Nuts Holiday Special or something like that. Yeah. Anyways, you can kind of get an idea where we're going here, but this is a good one, and I would definitely recommend you watch it all the way to the end because there's a coming soon preview in there that you don't want to miss. So swing on by, please check it out, and look for some more coming fast this week on my YouTube channel. And if it doesn't work there, it'll be over at Rumble, just like this one. I do live streams. I'm doing more live streams these days. I'm adding more content to those live streams, more people to those live streams, and more focus to those live streams. Should be a good time. Check it out. Locals, I'm on Locals. That's the best way to get notifications for my channel. I'm also on Rumble, YouTube, and Twitter, all in my descriptions. So I hope to see you around. Thank you so much. Oh, and I'll be with these guys on New Year's as well.
Damn.
Correct.
That was great.
Jimmy?
Hi, I'm Jimmy YouTube. You know me. I've been here before. I'm not doing much right now. I guess I'm putting out videos now again on my channel here on YouTube, Jimmy YouTube, and then over on Rumble at the Atlas Pass. I've been working on some drawing things in the background. You'll probably see them soon. Other than that, check out my Twitter, I guess.
And of course, I'm Koolfrogg. If you would like to support me immediately, please go to buymeacoffee.com/Koolfrogg. That is the best way to support me. If you haven't already, thank you, Gene. Hit up the justanotheropinion.locals.com. Hit up that Rumble at Koolfrogg. Make sure that there's two of them. Make sure you subscribe to the one with the more subscribers as opposed to the other one. It's strange, and I need to get a hold of Rumble and get that fixed. All that being said, thank you all so much. Don't forget to hit that like button on the way out. Later.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.